Welcome. My name is Kenneth Berenson. If you're new, if you're not, welcome back. So, as you may or may not know, in this channel we channel, no tarot cards, no things like that. We just tune in to what wants to be shared. The beings that we normally work with are Jeshua, Jesus, Archangel Michael, Metatron, and all the galactic team, really. But don't get too caught up in all of those things. The main thing is the messages themselves, not who and what, but that they're assisting us to grow into this holistic perspective, which is creating basically a completely new human body of more of a of a different material, more light material. I believe it's like carbon or something. I can't remember exactly, but those are details that are not so crucial to comprehend in order to do it. It is more important to comprehend the bigger picture than to comprehend all of these words, because there are many that are basing their whole livelihood on remembering words and what means what. And it's good on them for doing that, but it does set up sort of that the thinking mind is the most important thing. And the remembering, that has a label, that has a name, label. So you can place things on labels, and when you are place things on labels, then you know nothing. You just place things on labels. You just categorize them in certain words, So this process that we are undergoing, all of us, is the re-remembering of including the body in this whole dance. And so this dude, I don't know if you could hear. He just stopped now. He cracks me up. We saw so many birds dancing today. It's been a very beautiful resetting day for us today. We have done the bare minimum and really taken the day as it was feeling very needed. It was a really resting day, just letting things go, letting old thoughts go, letting old behaviors go, clearing the space, making room for you and your light coming through your body. That is what we're preparing for. That is why we even care about this masculine and feminine balance, is so that we can anchor more light. More light is more understanding, more comprehension, more knowledge about this experience and how to maneuver it in the most effective way for your body. And there is a very specific system to adhere to when you want to elevate in frequency. There are particular cycles that we have talked about before, and these cycles they repeat, but once you get good at this body game, you can start to flavor and feel those things. Those are primal, which doesn't really fit with intuition, but those are primal instincts from the body to know about its environment. This is natural for the body. These human bodies are very magical. And so when all of this energy is getting turned up, then of course the the DNAs are going to start to mutate and start to grow inside of you. But if you're seeing things crooked and all of those things, then you are sort of limiting that energy from getting through. It's sort of like a dam, and then you're putting rocks in the dam. That's really what the analogy is from distorted thinking. And many in the dualistic perspective. So there is some process to clean up. And we know that you have done your cleaning. Otherwise, you wouldn't be attracted to these teachings. And so we know that you are well on your path to mastering this human experience. But everything is a stepping stone. Wherever you find yourself in this junction to mastery, because there are many degrees of mastery, and within what field, right? You are all magnificent creators, and we are assisting you to utilize your electric vessel a bit more effective, let's say, because it can be more effective. And you can sort of get clearer minded and know how to function this environment so that you have your force fields open by your merkaba, so that your merkaba is working. And if you don't know what the merkaba is, it is the electromagnetic field. It's a different way to say that. There's basically two star tetrahedron. It's one star tetrahedron. Two star tetrahedrons on top of each other, kind of like this. And then they go and spin around in certain ratios. And that is literally what's happening around each living being. And that is the sort of the theory behind human energy, all of the logical, how it actually flows. And once you know this, know all of this stuff, you can start to work with it. And that's what we are inviting here. It's sort of like a school for gifted people, I would say. Or that is what it is perceived like that in the dualistic perspective, but we don't fully see it like that. Because what we see is that, okay, now you're finally learning how it is to be a human being. That is how we are seeing it. Because you haven't been fully plugged in yet. It's like someone's screwed with your wires energetically in the human body. And that's what's coming alive through these Ascension program, these 28-day Ascension. These upgrades are lifting you out of these old programs. Because these old programs, if you don't get shown where you're at, sometimes you can get stuck in some of these for years. Just like we did. We were stuck for years in this pleasing other people type of energy until we saw the truth. And I'm like, what? Like the first thing is like, you feel so stupid not having seen it before. And you see that, it was completely my doing. I did that completely. So, coming to terms with the truth is a big deal. Coming to terms with what actually happened and not blame anyone, but actually see what happened. That's healing. That's the holistic perspective we're speaking of. And that is sort of like, that cute, like if you like someone and like there's this shyness type of thing. That's real. That's real. Like being shy and showing you're shy. That's real. But in this game of fake, it's sort of like people are being trained how to behave. And of course, there are different ways of behaving, but everything has to come from the willingness of the human consciousness. It can't be like forced upon, like, oh, I have to do this if I know, in order to get that, I have to, like, there are all these boxes that seems to be that we have to fit into, but we don't have to. That's the thing. We don't have to fit into any box if we choose to not want to. And what does that entail? It entails, show me a different way. Because if everyone around you is doing a silly game, that's what we are starting to see, these games. They're just silly games. Power plays, silly games. To get attention, to get likes, to get like whatever. The only thing that truly matters in this life, in your life, is your own development with your body. That's the only thing that your soul cares about. And who is your soul? It is the consciousness, which is you. And so sometimes the consciousness is sort of like laying dormant a little bit. And it's just because it just has had this hat on, or like you have seen a certain narrative of your life, and it's just what's being presented, and it's been looped around for so long that it's just like, almost feels like it's part of the makeup energetically. But it's not really. It's like when you start to see, oh, hang on a second. When you start to see like certain things don't make sense, which I know you have seen plenty of. But I don't know where that come from. It was funny though. And so when you finally start to see more of this reality, you get to kind of notice that certain thoughts don't match anymore. And you have to do that deciphering to let go of things that do not fit anymore. And that's your choice. And that's the game. The game is with you. And then it's not about anyone else. And if someone is intruding in your space, you have free will to or right to put them in their place, because you honor your space. And so when you truly honor your space, your field, you won't have conflicting thoughts, because you will have certain, you will have, so some of the practices of these 28 days, especially the holistic optimizer part, they go into very specific things of how to disengage from energies in people outside. And once you do that in action, what that entail does is that you take back your power, because you've said what you actually mean, let's say, and seeing the reality, when you see the reality correctly for what they are actually doing and you confront that energy, that is the most powerful thing you can do for your change and for your field and for your energy field, because energy responds to your action. So you can meditate all you want and like clean the chakras and make protection holes and imagine and visualize. You can do all of that. But when you make the action of standing up to the so-called bully or the energetic interference that you sort of maybe feel like, oh, like, no, I'm not sure if I can do that type of thing, but you do it anyway, even if you're afraid, that's when you grow. And that's how you change your field, truly. That's the only way that you make lasting change, by doing it every single day. That's why we are changing consciousness every single day. And we know it's not a quick fix. We know that this takes dedication, it takes requirement to let go of certain things that does not serve you anymore. That's the whole thing. You are only asked to let go of things that do not serve you. You're not asked to let go of people. But sometimes people are attached to what they're doing. And if you are sharing with them exactly what they're doing, in truth, then they have a choice. They can respect you or not. And if they don't respect you, then you know who they are and where they belong. It's so simple. Yet, it can be complex to go through it. We get that. Because a thought is very simple until you do it. Then other things come up that, well, you didn't see. That's always the case. That's also why we go in 28 days. Because we are working with these cycles. And sometimes certain things come up. Sometimes certain things are good to do in this time and in that time, and so on. And so that's how we are structuring the Ascension program. And so that goes in 28-day cycles, and we are continuously doing that every single day. There is no break in this ascension. It is happening continuously. And so we are also doing this every single day. This is our practice. This is not a church. This is not a Jesus church or anything like that. This is many years of study of A Course in Miracles from my side that has led to this through many, many trials and tribulations that I'm sharing a lot about in the program. Because me, Kenneth, the being, I am the guinea pig that... I shouldn't say that about myself. I am the... what's a better way to say that? I'm the test subject that they are using to teach the teaching. In order for a really good transfer of knowledge, it is really good with a subject so that you get some hands-on examples. That's why this is done in this way. So if you're interested, you'll find a link somewhere here. Sending you so much blessings and love on your journey. We hope that this was uplifting and gave you some clarity on correcting your energy to more alignment. Sending you so much support. Until next time. Ciao.